Hello and welcome to episode 142 of the podcast. We're nearly at the end of the year. I think there's one more podcast episode to go. I'm hoping to get one out next week, but we'll see. Vlogmas is still happening and it's starting to feel a little bit more Christmassy, even though it is raining outside. But I do have quite a bit of knitting to show you. I've got some new yarn and something else very exciting to show you. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Before we start, let's just chat about a couple of things that are happening next year. So I will be at Unravel, my first show in 2025, and the first time I've been back at Unravel since I think 2019 was the last time I was there. I should have been there this year, in February this year, but we had to cancel because my mother-in-law passed away. So we had to cancel like 2 weeks before. So I'm quite excited to be back at Unravel again in 2025. It's in February in Farnham in Surrey. I can't remember the exact date now. I'll put the website below, and tickets are for sale now, so do go and check it out. In April 2025, I'm hosting my Nitalia knitting retreat in central Italy. Beautiful hilltop village, beautiful views, beautiful scenery. We're going to explore the local area, explore local crafts. I found out that one of the places we are going for an eco printing workshop actually has a wool museum, so we'll include that on our trip. And lots of knitting. I'm doing a retreat project and a goodie bag for everyone with the yarn and everything that you need, and some extras. And we're going to have workshops and free knitting time and lots of exploring, good food, good company. It should be great. I'm really looking forward to it, and that's in April, and I'll put the link to all the details below this video. If you have any questions, just send me a message and I'll do my best to answer. So before we talk about what I've been knitting, let me just show you some yarn that arrived. So this is for a magazine design, and I need to get this wound up before the weekend. I'm filming this on the Wednesday and I'm actually going to be out all day tomorrow, so but I need to get this wound up before the weekend and the pattern written preferably on Friday, but I think that's not going to happen. Probably on Monday I need to write a pattern and actually cast on before Christmas, so that I can I don't want to work on it on like Christmas Day and Boxing Day because they are kind of my days off, but I will be working on it on other days because it is something I can fairly easily knit watching telly and stuff in the evening, I think. So it is from Blackie Yarns, which is a local yarn company. They are based about half an hour away from me. So Blackie Yarns, this yarn is called Bamboozle, and it says 100% British wool blended with bamboo, but it doesn't say how much bamboo, but it has got a really lovely sheen to it. This colourway is a colourway cinnamon. So apparently one of the colours, or the colour of the year for like next summer, I think it is, or early next year, I don't know. But the Pantone, is that what it's called? Colour of the year is, I think it's mocha. And it's not, it's maybe a little bit more brown than this, but it's kind of that kind of colour. So I'm quite excited to work with this because it's a yarn I've never worked with before. So I will get that wound, probably not today or tomorrow, but probably on Friday, and then write a pattern, knit a swatch over the weekend, write a pattern on Monday, and then cast on Monday night, I think. Want to try and also finish a couple of things this weekend. So let's talk about the project I haven't worked on an awful lot since last week. So I've knitted a couple of hats. I'm actually knitted 4 Christmas presents this year, which is way more than I normally do. Half for my husband, which he knows about, he's tried it on. Half for my daughter, she knows about it, she chose the yarn, and half for my other daughter. So I knitted a hat for my oldest daughter really, really quickly. I am still considering unraveling the crown and adding a couple of centimeters, but I need to finish this one first. I was doing really well on this one, trying to do at least 5 centimeters a day. And then on Saturday we went to IKEA. On Ayrstone, it's about an hour and 15 minutes away in Exeter, and I took this with me because one of the things I wanted to do while we were there was to try out some chairs for the lounge, because we need to replace my chair, or both our chairs in the lounge really, next year. And we saw one last time we were there that I quite liked, but I want to try it again just to see what it was like. And I'm very fussy when it comes to chair, because I have back and neck problem. I need a chair with a high back, so if my neck's bad, I can like rest my head on it. It can't be too far reclined, so I end up with my head kind of, that kind of kink in my neck, but it can't be too upright. I'm very, very fussy. Don't want it too hard, don't want it too soft, don't want it too low, don't want it too high. I'm really difficult to buy a chair for, and I also don't want to spend £1,000 on a chair. So I'm not easy. So I took this with me, and I did a bit of knitting, probably a round and a half, while I was sitting in this chair that I'm considering getting. And then I did a little bit on Sunday when we were out. So since Saturday, including Saturday, I've done that much. So let's see how much that is. That is 3.5 centimeters. So bearing in mind my target was 5 centimeters a day, I've not even done that for, what's it today, Wednesday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days where I haven't done my target in total, let alone a day. So I need to get back to focusing on this now. I need to try and get my 5 centimeters in today. So I think I got about 10 centimeters to knit before the crown shaping. So technically, if I do 5 centimeters today and 5 centimeters tomorrow, I could finish it on Friday. I'm meeting a friend tomorrow, and I am thinking about just taking this project with me. Depending on how much I get done today, if I work on it a lot tonight, I might also take my sweater project with me. But if I mainly focus on the sweater tonight, and then I can take this tomorrow, because I usually meet her for about 4 hours in a pub. We're chatting, knitting, and obviously I don't get as much knitting done as if I was knitting for 4 hours at home, because we're chatting, so occasionally I will like stop knitting for a few minutes. But I will get quite a bit done, and I think I can definitely get my get most of what I've got left done in those 4 hours tomorrow. I don't know, but I really want to, I need to finish this by the end of the weekend. I really would like to finish it before the weekend if I can, but we'll see. If I can finish it before the weekend, then I can add a couple of centimeters to this over the weekend. So that is my hat. I need to really put an effort in to finish that. If you've been watching my Vlogmas video, you will know that I have cast on for a new sweater. If you've been watching me this autumn, you will probably know that I have a pink sweater that I absolutely love and I wear a lot. I knitted it when I was in Norway in November, and I've already worn it a lot, even though I've only been back for about 5 weeks. I've already worn it a lot, and I decided I fancied knitting another one, and this time I bought the yarn from a shop here in the UK called Knit with a double T. I will link them below. And the yarn arrived, I immediately cast on. I'm doing the same size as I did for my second pink one. I chose this dark grey yarn because I wear a lot of black, so this goes perfectly with a lot of my wardrobe. I like the hot pink, and there are a couple other colours I really like. There's a really nice like bright royal blue, which I really like, and there's also like a lighter blue that I really like, but they didn't have that in the shop where I was looking, and I didn't want to wait till next time I go to Norway, because I won't be till February. So I decided to get the dark grey, because that was one of the colours I was considering. And when I'm wearing black, it's better to wear dark grey, even though the pink, I just love that colour on me. I think I look good in bright pink. And it doesn't shed a lot. It is alpaca. It's a little bit fussy, but it's not super fussy. So it doesn't shed a lot, but it does shed a little bit, especially if I'm wearing it like all day. So I thought doing a grey one, grey on black, even if it sheds a bit, isn't such a problem. And I think grey is okay on me. So I went for this dark grey. It's knitted from the top down. Start with the back first, and the back down to the underarms is a bit boring to knit, to be quite honest, because the rows are quite long, because it has drop shoulders, and you're knitting a row and purling a row. And even though I can purl quite fast, I'm not as fast at purling as I am at knitting. So I thought it was kind of dragging on a little bit, to be perfectly honest. But before the weekend, over the weekend, I can't remember, I started on the front. I think I shared this in my last Vlogmas video, which was out yesterday, and I decided to add beads. So it has a v-neck shaping. It's not a very deep v-neck, probably about by here, I guess. And on the sides here I'm adding beads, and I couldn't decide what beads to go for. I tried several colours, actually put them on my knitting to see what they look like, and I decided to go for purple and pink. So I do one row of purple, one row of pink, and the pink ones are placed in between the purple ones. And I really like that. I was a bit worried about weight. I'm just going to do it up here alongside the v-neck. So I'll stop when I get to the bottom of the v-neck shaping. And I haven't done any on the back, because then I was thinking when I'm sitting back in the chair I might be able to feel it. They are the size 8 beads, so they are quite small. It does slow me down a little bit, because on the bead rows I have to stop and keep adding beads, but I really like it, and I thought it'd just add something to what's a relatively plain sweater, I think. So I'm quite enjoying that, and I would like to, I didn't work on it at all yesterday or the day before, I don't think, I can't remember. I've spent a lot of time in the last few days working on a design submission. I had a big design submission for 2 magazines for I think 6 issues each, which took a lot of work swatching and pulling it all together. So I spent a lot of time doing that over the last few days, which is why I've got less knitting done. So I haven't worked on this for a couple of days, so I'm going to probably focus on working on this evening, although I will try and get a little bit done on my hat as well. So with my Discreet Unicorn Advent project, I am working on day 17 at the moment. So it's day 18 today. I haven't opened day 18 yet. So when I started I was a few days ahead, and now I am behind. But that's okay, because I haven't been working on it for a couple of days because of all these design submissions. So I've done, I think, 1 round of day 17. There are 3 rounds on each day. So the one I'm working at the moment is this colour, and the last colour I worked on, which I did this morning on my break, is that. So we've had 2 orange days which were very similar. Let me see if I've got the other one here. I'm putting them all into this project bag when I finish, because I need to do something else, because I'm only using like 3 grams of each. So that's day 16, that's day 15 and 16, and they looked a little bit more different in the skein, but they are very similar. One is just a smidgen darker than the other one, and then today we're going into yellow. So I don't know what the next colour is. I'm going to try and finish this colour today, and I think after I finish this I'm going to open, I need to start filming the next Vlogmas episode that goes out on Saturday, because I haven't filmed anything for that yet. The current Vlogmas episode went out yesterday afternoon, so I'm going to try and film a little bit of Vlogmas after I finish this and open the next today and tomorrow probably, and then I will probably finish day 17. I have to look at the date on my watch. Day 17 today, and try and do day 18 and 19 tomorrow evening, so that I'm up to date for Friday. And then I would like to try and finish this bag over the weekend. There'll be a Vlogmas video on Saturday, and then there'll be another one on Tuesday, which is the 24th. So my plan is to open all my advents so that I can show them all off, the remaining ones off, in the Vlogmas video on Tuesday, because that'll be the last Vlogmas video. So that I'm up to date then. I won't be doing any filming on Tuesday, but if I can film the rest of it and put it all together on Monday, that would be great. And then Vlogmas will all be wrapped up and done by the 24th. And I would also like to finish the knitting on this, because this is using such a tiny amount of each ball. I will need to do another project for that, because I have at least 15 grams, most of them more, of each 20 gram skein. So I've only used a minute amount really, but I wanted to go through the whole rainbow of colours. So I have had a few ideas. I was thinking about another bag, but I'm worried that what I've got left, where's my calculator? So if I have 15 grams left of each times 24, that's 360 grams. So that's quite a lot. So I don't know. I was thinking about another bag. I have an idea. I was also thinking maybe I could do a blanket, but it's probably not enough to do a blanket. So I'm not sure what to do with it yet. I think I need to do a bit of swatching put the measurements into my spreadsheet to work out how big a piece I can get for the amount of yarn I have left. Obviously I can do what I did here, mix it with another yarn. That will make it go a bit further. But I would like to do another project that will use up most of what's remaining of each ball, because I've only used a tiny amount. And even though I love this, I mean, it looks fabulous, doesn't it? It isn't really enough for the amount of yarn I have left, so I do need to do something else. But I haven't decided what that's going to be yet. But I would like to really try and cast that on between Christmas and New Year and get it finished in like early January. But it depends on what I decide to do, because I do have this yarn that I need to cast on for a deadline that's like middle of January, I think. So that needs to be my priority for the first half of January. I haven't had a design deadline for a little while now. It's been nice to have a little bit of a break from it. Wasn't deliberate. I have been submitting stuff that just haven't been commissioned. That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you submit stuff and you get a lot of commissions. Other times you submit stuff and you don't get any commissions, which is frustrating, but that's just the way it is. So in the week ahead, I am going to prioritize finishing that hat for my daughter. Need to get that finished sometime this weekend, preferably by end of Friday. Add a couple of centimeters to my other daughter's hat, and finish the Advent project, the colorwork one. Try and get that up, finished up to the 24th, day 24. I don't know whether once I've finished knitting the whole chart, whether all 24 colors, whether that's going to be tall enough. It's going to be a bag, basically. So I don't know whether it's going to be tall enough. So how many days have we got left? 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we've got 7 days left. The 3 rows a day, so 21 rows left. Might be. So I'll probably finish off with a bit of black at the top. And I haven't decided on what kind of handle situation to do. I'm thinking about trying to get some leather handles to put on there, because I think that looks really good. This bag was kind of inspired by somebody I spoke to at YarnAddict, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it was, but she had the most gorgeous Fair Isle bag that she'd knitted. It was in, I can't remember what yarn it was. It might have been Felt Tweed by Rowan, because it was those kind of muted, dusky kind of colours. It was just stunning, and she had like a it was lined, and she had like a leather handle on it, and it just looks so much more professional. So I am thinking about getting some leather handles. I got some last summer for a crochet bag I made, and I think they came in a set of 2, but they're quite long for like a shoulder bag and quite thick, and I think I might want shorter ones for these, so they're just like top handle type bags. And then I need to make the lining, which I will do with felt. I used to have like a sort of plastic bit that you could like put in the base of bags. You cut it to fit, and I used to have some of that, and I don't know if I still do. If I do, I might put that in the base just to give it a bit more structure, so it will sit flat on the floor. But we'll see. Probably won't. I'll try and finish the knitting before Christmas, and I'll probably do everything else in January. Finish this hat by Friday. One more thing I want to share. I meant to share this last week and I forgot. It arrived last week. So Hohi & Co is run by Hohi Locatelli. Very, very, very popular knitwear designer from Argentina. If you follow a lot of knitwear designers online, you've probably heard of her. She's really popular. She does some beautiful things. And she also has a bag line. And they are gorgeous leather bags made in Argentina. And I got one last January. A small project bag type bag, really, really nice. And I've been really keen on one of her bigger totes for a while, but they are quite expensive, so I've been a bit reluctant. And then I think it was in the summer, she had like a seconds sale, and I saw a couple there that I really liked, and I nearly bought one of them. And I got to check out, and then I thought, oh, I'll just go and check. There was something I wanted to double check, so I went back to the listing to double check something. And then when I tried to check out again, it was gone. So I missed out. And there's been a couple of colours I really liked, but I wasn't sure. I feel like the full price is a little bit too high. So she had a second sale like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and she had two colours that was interesting. One was like a plummy colour, which was really pretty. Well, I missed that on that one. Then she had this gorgeous bright pink one. The only thing I don't like about this one is the fact that it has a red suede lining. So I'm not a huge fan of red, especially not an orangey red. But it is, I knew it would be big, but it is bigger than I expected it to be. So when I hold it like that, it's not too bad. But these sides here kind of fold out so that when you wear it, it's kind of like that. And it is quite big. It has a big slip pocket on the front here. I feel like this would be more useful if it had like a popper on the front here. And I am thinking I could possibly get like actually have some magnetic poppers I could put on here, but would be able to see it on the front here. So I would have to get something to cover that with. And I don't know, there is like a logo here as well. I don't know if you can see that. It says Hohe & Co. So if I put a magnetic thing on there, I just worry that it's going to, you're going to see it on this side, at least the magnets I have, and that means I'd have to put something on top of it to cover it up. Like if I was making a bag out of like fabric or knitted fabric, I could put like a button or something on top of it and just stitch it down, but I don't know how easy that is with leather, and I don't want to ruin it. Although I could also go into my local shoe repair place and see if they have anything they could suggest. But I feel like this would be more useful if it had some kind of button fastening on it. And then inside it has one fairly decent sized slip pocket which could fit your phone and stuff and wallet and things. And then it has a thingy to attach your keys to. And the reason I decided to get, and then it has like a magnetic. So I was thinking maybe this would be like a good bag to use for like when I'm traveling, when I'm taking my suitcase on travels rather than just traveling with my backpack. I was a little bit worried that the drop here, the shoulder drop, wasn't long enough for me. Hohe is very slim. I don't know how tall she is. I would say to me it looks like she's maybe average height. I'm quite tall. I know I'm probably twice the size, clothes size of Hohe, because she's very, very slim. And I do quite often find bags are a little bit too short. The drop here is too short for me. This is fine, just wearing this t-shirt, but if I'm wearing my winter coat, I don't know whether it's going to be okay. And also it's a little bit big just to like have on my arm. So another pink bag that been using a lot lately, which I have, just this one, which is from River Island. That's leather as well. It has like a, yeah, I think it has like a similar drop to that, and I don't normally wear this on my shoulder. I normally just wear it over my arm. And if I thought about it, this does really perform a similar function, except it is quite a lot bigger. And I do, basically what I'm saying is I do kind of have slight bias and regret, because this bag is massive and I just don't know how much I'm going to use it, especially considering the fact it doesn't have a zip across the top. It does have this magnetic thing, so it is fairly secure. When I use tote bags, I tend to put things in pouches to keep things secure in there, but I just don't know. I was thinking about using it for like traveling and stuff, for hand luggage, but it doesn't have a zip on it, and I prefer to have a zip. I just feel like it's really big, and I just don't know. I haven't used it so far because I'm considering selling it, because I just don't know. If it was that size, it'd be perfect. But I just feel with those bits I fold out, it's just a little bit too big. I also wonder whether there's anywhere I can get someone to alter it for me to make it more that size. So basically, if you've been lusting after this bag and you would like it at a discount, get in touch, because I would consider selling it. I would sell it for what I paid for it, which is £200. So if I was going to sell this, if you're in the UK, I would sell it for £200, including a special delivery, which is more secure because it's fully tracked and signed for and everything. Next day delivery. If you live abroad, then I would have to charge postage because it's likely to be more expensive. So let me know if you've been lusting after this bag and you fancy it. I would be willing to sell it. I don't know. Basically, when it arrived, I was like, I love it, but I'm not 100% sure. Now I'm looking at it, I'm kind of talking myself into it, but also talking myself out of it. Comes with a dust bag. Basically, I've stored it in the dust bag so far just because I'm not sure. I'm not going to send it back because there's nothing wrong with it. And I don't know what their returns policy is, but I'm assuming as there's nothing wrong with it, I would have to pay returns to Argentina, which would be expensive. So I'm not doing that. So if you're interested in buying it, let me know, and I would consider selling it. Because I just feel like it's a little bit too big for me. And I know the measurements were there, so I should have checked the measurements too more carefully, but I just don't use big totes as often as I used to, and I feel like this is maybe a little bit too big for what I really need, realistically. So if you're interested, let me know, and we can chat. That is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll be back on Saturday with Vlogmas, and then back again on Tuesday next week with the final Vlogmas episode, and then back next, probably Friday, with the next podcast episode. And hopefully I'll have a bit of progress to show you. Last video on my channel was the Vlogmas video on Tuesday this week. So filming this on Wednesday, so the one that came out yesterday. We went to Saltram House in Plymouth, which is a National Trust property, and we walked around a bit of the garden, and we also walked around the house, and Christmas decorations there are amazing. They're probably the best ones out of all the National Trust properties in our area. And there are a lot of National Trust properties there. So if you fancy looking at that, go and check out. That was the last video on my channel before this one, and there was also a Vlogmas video last Saturday. Can't remember what that one's about, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And I hope you all have a lovely Christmas, and I will see you on Saturday for Vlogmas.